All right, so on the topic of how do we read the signs from nature and the universe and the divine and our own higher intuition, how do we read signs to know that we're on the right path or how to guide our path? And this is a very big topic. So I created a notebook LM to help you explore it. And I'm just gonna just 2 minutes, hopefully, quickly showing you around. So the main thing about Notebook LM, let me just go ahead and refresh the screen here. The main thing about Notebook LM is the chat window here in the middle. Okay. So in the middle where it says start typing, you can just start typing and you can ask it any questions. So if you are interested in a particular worldview and how it sees guidance and intuition, you can ask about that. So it's like, what does shamanic wisdom say about this topic? Okay, and then just press enter. You can ask anything. It's like, I'm trying to make a business decision whether to you know focus on making videos or writing instead. How might I guide my decision? I mean, you could ask it anything, right? Oh, whoops. It's sorry, it's like freaking out right now because it's still loading the response from the previous one. And it's a lot of information, it's all grounded based on the 193 sources that I pulled up. And by the way, I'm I have to very important. I I basically used the Discover feature to come up with 193 sources. So I haven't read any of these, and I can't therefore endorse what any of these say. I just I used the Discovers and I typed in something, and then it kind of gave me very quick overviews of each one. And I'm like, oh, that seems okay. And I added it. So I don't know whether I would agree with anything that's here, but it certainly is a lot of interesting info to sort through. And the easiest way to sort through, like I said, is to chat with it. And if you want shorter answers, you can click on the configure notebook setting here, and you could say, I want shorter answers. Okay, because the default is pretty long. You could even want longer answers if you want, but shorter might be more enjoyable to chat with. So just FYI. And you can also custom to say, please respond in very layman's terms and easy to understand format. And you don't even have to spell that right, and it'll get it. So um, yeah, anyway, so have fun with the chat. And then on the right-hand side, you can go ahead and create any kind of audio overview, video overview you want. Or you can scroll down and see a few of the things I created. You can ignore this one. This is a quick note for myself on what the topic is. But you can click on the mind map. Very amazing. The mind map will allow you to explore a lot of things, and you can either expand things or you can click on any particular node in the mind map to explore. It'll automatically create a chat to explore um, the topic that you clicked on, and it'll just be loading its answer, and it'll have its answer soon. You can, instead of a mind map, you can also see some of the reports I created. I didn't write these reports. I used the report function, and I basically prompted a particular report. So this one talks about balancing rationality and intuition for complex problem solving. Okay, it's a long report. Um, okay, and this one is synchronicity or apophenia. How do you know you are actually getting synchronicity versus just your brain bias, seeing things, seeing patterns where patterns don't exist or there were no meaningful patterns, right? Interesting report. And then this, are you seeing the signs? Interpreting life's messages, beginner's guide. Okay. So a couple of things to get you started. You can click any of these things for more fun and click on the pencil icon to customize these different things if you want, or just click on the main button to just go with the default. So I welcome you to enjoy looking at this, and please comment below with what you learned. Comment below with what was the most interesting thing you learned from your explorations, um, or several things. So I look forward to seeing what you come up with. All right, so I'm just going to share a few thoughts, my own thoughts about this topic. Those of you who are watching the recording later, I hope you will pause the recording now and first, you know, think about your own views on this before you hear mine. I just think it's a good idea to check in with your own, well, guidance and intuition about and your own grounded experience about what you understand to be true about this. And please feel free to comment below. I would love to see your views on this. So and maybe use some time to play with the Notebook LM to further explore, if you like. But I'll share just some quick thoughts on this, and please just take it with a grain of salt. This is obviously from my own experience, my own very human experience, and each of us, I believe, I believe the truth, if you want to call it that, capital T truth, is a mosaic of grounded human experiences that all come together to form some kind of picture. And we are able to, well, see certain parts of the picture, and we aren't even aware of complete other parts of the picture. And so it's like the blind men and the elephant story. We're only feeling certain parts of the elephant. We're not seeing the whole thing. And so anyway, here's my blind attempt at understanding this topic. When this topic was suggested, uh, I didn't naturally gravitate towards it. And I think it's because I have, okay, I'll put it this way. I have had my human experience has been very, if funny enough, my human experience, my life experience has been extremely secular. I have never, as far as I can tell, I have never experienced a single psychic thing, otherworldly thing. Never seen ghosts, UFOs, synchronicities, nothing. My entire life has been like I should be an atheist. And yet, for whatever psychological reason or spiritual reason, I I believe in so many things. I believe in UFOs, ghosts, psychic phenomenon, hauntings. I believe in, past life regressions. I believe in I deeply, deeply, like 180%, 2000% believe that there's life after death. And I really have a very strong faith about that. That's why I'm not afraid to die. I'm actually looking forward to it, to be honest with you, when the time comes that it's meant for me to die. And when people die, I secretly, I don't mourn for them. I secretly wish them well and try to detach from calling them back, because I think they have a journey onward. And so I don't grieve like most people do. I don't know yet, because I haven't, it's not like I haven't had to deal with the death of my wife, for example. I'm sure that'll be quite different, or the death of my animals. But yeah, anyway, long story short, let me get back to this topic. So I have this like dichotomy within me of like not believing any signs at all, believing it's all just brain biases, people using their brain, not using their brain correctly, or their brain, sorry, not the people's human beings have a natural, we are meaning making machines. And so on the one hand of, atheism, I say, well, you're seeing signs just because that's how your brain was wired to see signs. Sorry, and I think there is good, I do, like I said, I have this dichotomy within me. And on the one hand, I do think that people mistakenly make decisions based on signs. I don't think people should make decisions based on signs. They're like, oh my God. Like recently, this Bitcoin went to 111,000. Like, that's my time to get in. That must be a sign, right? And then my atheist side says, yeah, it's just it's just your wishful thinking. You've been wanting to get in for a while, and now you finally got in because you used the sign for your own benefit, for I believe my financial benefit down the road. But so I kind of like see that, and I kind of like go, so my atheist side goes, I'm gonna use my brain's natural capability of seeing faces in trees and in clouds, and seeing signs from 111. I love 111. I see it occasionally, like it pops up like in certain points of my life, like all the time, like I showed my wife the other, there it is, 111, and she didn't see it, but I saw it. It's like, well, it was on the computer screen, both of us were looking at it, but I saw it, she didn't see it. And so it's like like it'll happen in like 11 times or like 20 times or whatever, like in a row. And I'm like, okay, right. Um, and then my spiritual side says, I believe I have guardian angels, or at least one guardian angel. I believe that my intuition is connected to the oversoul, and there is sometimes guidance that comes down or through. And so I believe that too. So I'm like this weird person where I believe both things. And I try to, so the bottom line for me is I just try to use it all to live a better life. Like whether 111 is really just my brain perception, or whether it's really signs, or whether, something happened and like, oh, that's a sign that I should go in that direction, in this direction. I just use it for my benefit. And when it's no longer beneficial, I drop the sign. I just do that. And what I think is such a shame is when I see people. So what I think is a danger is people use signs like believing it's like, oh, must be from the divine. I had this dream, or I had this thing happen, so I pursued that direction. And this is where I think it gets dangerous. They make mistakes. They're humans. We're all humans. We either make mistakes or we fail at a project, and then we start to do what? We start to distrust our intuition, or we start to blame God, right? Right? Like, God, why did you do this to me? So this is where people start to lose their faith, or they start to be angry at God, or they start to be um, distrustful, or they start to be scared of, spiritual things, or to become an atheist, right? Or whatever, because they're like, see, I followed those signs and it led me down the wrong path. So it must be either they stay spiritual and blame God, or they become non-spiritual. I think that's the danger of this topic. And so I'm aware of that possibility. And so I'm always just saying, I don't know, could be a real sign. I'm going to follow the positive sign as if it was real until it's no longer useful. And then I'll drop it. And then I'll go to my atheist side and says, yeah, it was just my brain perception. So I like to do that because it just has brought me to a very good life. Um, and I'm going to continue, like my intention is continue seeing signs for my benefit and for the benefit of everyone in my care. And then that's it. And that's how I like to live. Anyway, so that's my take on it. I guess it's a incorrigibly optimistic take on signs and intuition. So there it is. I really look forward to seeing what your view about it is and your experience about it, because I love hearing stories about this too. So I want to say one last thing. Um, in the research that I came up with, it was very interesting to learn that the belief in signs, divine guidance, external nature signs, is connected to our locus of motivation. Meaning, the more, the higher your sense of self-agency and self-efficacy, the less you tend to depend on signs. And I thought that was very interesting, because I think for whatever reason, maybe I grew up with entrepreneurial parents. So I think I've always tended towards a stronger internal locus of motivation. And so that way, that's why I take signs so lightly. And I personally think it's a good thing in life to have a strong sense of internal locus of motivation, internal locus of, I don't know, locus of motivation, locus of something, internal locus of control, something like that. And that's what I wish for all of us, is to have a stronger internal, stronger ability to self-determine our life. Um, Whether you want to say the self-determination is small s or big S, right? All right. Anyway, so with that, I'll let you share your comments below. I look forward to it.